Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to walk you through how to register your LDAP server, create subgroups, complete an Active Directory sync, do product deployment, and explain what repositories and extensions are for Mcafee EPO. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is open up your browser so we can get to the Mcafee admin portal. So that's going to be HTTPS, the server where it's installed, and then port 8443. Then you're going to log in with your credentials. So once you're logged in, the first thing you're going to see here is your dashboard. We can set this up later, but first I'm going to show you how to register your LDAP server. So you're going to go to this menu bar right here, and then you're going to look for registered servers under configuration. Once here, you're going to go hit new server, LDAP. So I'm going to name this DC1. I only have one domain controller in my lab, so that's what I'm going to use as the name. Once that's done, hit next. So you're going to type in your domain name right here. This happens to be mine. And then you're going to use your domain / the account you're going to use. I'm using administrator because, once again, this is a lab environment for me. I would not recommend using administrator for this. I would create an account just for this, a service account. So once you fill it out, you can test your connection. As you can see, I've successfully connected, so we're going to go ahead and save. So that's now saved in the EPO server. So when we go to complete an Active Directory sync afterwards, it should populate for us. So before I do an Active Directory sync, I like to organize my system tree to how I want it to look. I usually mirror this to what Active Directory looks like, just so when you have administrators coming in here, they know where things are based on their experience from Active Directory. So first thing I'm going to do is create a subfolder called servers, and then I'm going to create a subfolder called workstations. So system tree actions, new subgroups. You can organize this any way you want. It's just a lot easier to manage policies and pushing clients to certain machines when you do it this way. So then I'm going to hit servers and create another subgroup under there called domain controllers. And then just to show you that you can drag and drop in here, I'll create one called site1 workstations. So then you can just drag and drop. Oops. Put that in the wrong spot. So cool. So now you see that we have two groups, servers, workstations, and subgroups in those groups. So let's go ahead and do domain controllers first. So once you're in the domain controllers window, go to group details, hit edit right here under synchronization type. Choose Active Directory. So if you come to Active Directory domain, you can see here that the LDAP server we registered previously is already here. Now you can just choose to proceed this way and go down to browse, and you should see your Active Directory in here. Just to show you, you can do it this way as well if you don't want to register an LDAP server. There's user domain there. For domain, here is the domain short name, and then the user account you wish to do this with. I would recommend this being a service account. So go ahead and then hit browse, and as you can see, everything is here. So I'm just gonna cancel and just go ahead and do this with the LDAP server. So this is important here because sometimes, you know, in Active Directory, workstations or computer objects might get moved around. So if you just want to leave this or you want to move with that, that's up to you. So I'm gonna hit browse and I'm gonna sync domain controllers, hit OK. You can see right there. You have an option to push agents as well. I'm not gonna do that. I've had issues with that in the past, especially with the server tasks. Sometimes they build up and it causes issues. So I'm gonna do that via separate task afterwards. When systems are deleted from a certain point, leave the system's current location system tree or delete systems from system tree. Up to you what you want to do for that. For tags, I haven't made any tags, but since we are doing this, you can go ahead. Since we're doing domain controllers, you can select this and they have the server workstation tags right here. So it'll automatically apply a server tag so you can do things with it afterwards. So then hit synchronize now. It should be running that in the background, so hit save. And now that we're here, go to systems. Whenever that decides to complete. What do we do wrong here? Do you not save that? Let's go ahead and do this again. Okay, browse, domain controllers. Progress, save. Okay, now you can see that we have our one domain controller, at least in my lab, has now synced via Active Directory. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing for the workstation subgroup. I know my Active Directory is bare bones, but if you have a full built Active Directory that you've all your OUs, you can figure that out on your own. So we're gonna apply the workstation tag to this, hit save. Oh, I forgot to synchronize that. So if you're wondering if you have to come in here every time to hit synchronize now, you do not. You can automate it via a server task, which I will show you in 1 second. So if you come here, you see they are all in here now based off where they are in Active Directory. So the server tasks I was talking about, it's in here. You can create a new task that does Active Directory sync via new taskbar here. So let's actually go ahead and do that. So when you're in server tasks, let's create a new task. I will name this group sync via Active Directory. You can leave notes here as well. I'm not going to do that, so hit next. So under actions, you're going to choose Active Directory NT domain sync, and then you can either sync all the groups at the same time, or you could do this for separate groups via different tasks. So let's select the groups here. As you can see, these are two groups we just synced previously. Hit OK. Here's where you set the schedule. I'm going to do this every 6 hours. No end date. Hit next. Hit save. So why is this important? Well, if you have admins that are adding workstations to the domain all the time, you don't want to miss those, because then you're going to have holes in where your agents are and where they are not. So actively making sure that this sync is running and you're syncing with Active Directory, at least every day or whatever your organization wants, it is important, so you don't catch the machines that have been added without your knowledge. So now we've synced with Active Directory. We have all these system names in our Site 1 workstation subgroup, and you can see they say manage state unmanaged. What does that mean? That means that these machines currently do not have an agent installed on them. So we're going to push an agent to these machines manually. Let's choose Win10 Workstation 1. So you're going to go ahead and check this. Go to Actions, Agent, and you want to deploy agents. So this is a Windows machine, so that's the agent I'm going to choose. Installation options. So I will force installation over existing version if there is one there already. Enter your credentials that allow you to install this on the machine. So if you're using a service account, you can just go ahead and remember these credentials so you don't have to retype it all the time. So number of attempts, this is up to you. You can leave it at 0, so it continuously tries to do it. I like to move this to 1 minute. And then I'll keep the retry interval at 30 seconds. So push agents using all agent handlers or selected agent handler. This is for a multi-EPO server deployment. We only have one, so we're just gonna, doesn't really matter which one you select here. So hit OK. Okay, so now you see that we've deployed the Mcafee agent at this time, it ended at this time, status completed, and took less than a minute. So let's go ahead and look at the system tree now. You can see that the Win10 system now shows as managed, meaning there should be a Mcafee agent icon, which there is. So let's right click it, hit Mcafee agent status monitor. This will pull up the agent information, and then we can go to the about to get version information. So you can see that installed this Mcafee agent. It's managed because it's connected to an EPO server. That's my EPO server name and IP address. So let's go ahead and exit out of this. There's also another way. There's actually multiple ways, but let me show you one more to do an agent deployment. So if you go to this agent deployment tab, you can create a URL where you can send that to whoever is going to be conducting this install on a workstation, and they can do this manually. So let's create one. Create agent deployment URL. Let's do this as URL test1. So this is going to be for a Windows agent. All agent handlers, hit OK. And then here's the URL. Let's go ahead and copy that. This is really useful for, say you have some help desk admins that don't have access to the Mcafee EPO server, but you want them to be able to install the agent for you while they're adding machines to the domain or troubleshooting machines and find that they don't have agents. So just to show you how it works, let's put that into the browser. Prompted to install. If it does not, it automatically did for me. So you can go ahead and click that, and it runs through the wizard here. Difference with this is that you see the installation happening, whereas when you do it through EPO, it's done in the background. Okay, now it's finished, so hit OK. And if we did not have an agent here previously, we would have it now. As you can see, it is still here. We're good to go. So now that our workstation has an agent, we want to push products to that agent. All the products lay on top of the agent. So say Mcafee DLP, Mcafee RSD, all get installed over the agent. So where would you deploy that? Go to the menu bar, find the product deployment on the software right there. So here you can automate this for yourself. So new deployment, let's do test endpoint upgrade product. Package is the product that we've installed in the master repository. So we're going to choose this one right here, branch current, and then action is going to be install. You can also uninstall via this way as well. And where do you want this to happen? So let's do a tag just to show you how that works. So remember when we had those machines synced with Active Directory, we made sure that we tag those machines, which makes our life easier now. So we want every workstation or every machine that has the workstation tag to get this product. So we're gonna go to tags, workstation, hit OK. This is up to you. I don't do that personally just because sometimes I mess up, move something to the current branch when it should actually be in the evaluation branch, and I don't want this pushing to the whole organization when I did not intend for that to happen. So start time, run immediately, once or daily. I'm gonna do this immediately. You can also leave, change these options as well. So let's go ahead and hit save. So now it shows that this is the deployment task that we created. It gives you all this information of who has it, who doesn't, the status. Now this will run when a workstation checks in. That agent check-in time is based off agent policies that you create or edit. So let's see if we can get this to work. I think default is set to an hour or 30 minutes. So let's check new policies. You can see that it got it right there. The import upgrade product that we have. Now it's downloading it, it's installing it. Now this would happen automatically in the background, so you don't have to do this. I'm just doing this to show you what happens at the endpoint. Now I had a failure because I think I don't actually have all the products I need installed, but let's check to see what happens here. So yep, you can see that it went to try it and it failed. That's because I'm missing some products in the master repository for this, but it shows you how it works when you have the correct products in the repository and you do the actual deployment. So now you might be thinking to yourself, well, where are these programs actually located? So Mcafee has two areas for this. It's called the master repository and the extensions tab. Let's go to the master repository first. So you can see that I already have these agents for Linux, Mac, Windows, and the endpoint upgrade assistant already installed in here. These come default with EPO, but say you wanted to download a newer version of Mcafee agent or older version, or even one of their DLP products, you would come to the master repository first, then you would check in the package, you would leave it here at the product or update, choose the file from where you get it from. Most likely it's the Mcafee website, and then you go through the prompts. I don't actually have it, so I can't go through that with you. This is also where you would update your DAP files, which are your virus definitions. Mcafee also has branch categories called current, previous, and evaluation. These are used for testing, deployment into production, and to store older versions that you can roll back to if necessary. Obviously, current is the one that is most likely deployed in production. Another tab is extensions. So extensions are what you install for the product that was put into the master repository, so you can manage policies and actually get the menu options here. So you can see the extensions I have installed. Once again, these are default. So the Mcafee agent extension is here with the version number. Whenever you install a new product in master repository that you deploy, you will have to also update the extension. Otherwise, you most likely would not be able to manage that product that you've deployed. If you go to system tree, actually, if you go to, let's go to the policy catalog. The agent, or I'm sorry, the extensions that you've installed allow you to edit these options here. Without those extensions being installed, you will not have options to manage your products in the menu tab.